Welcome back to Policy and Rights here in Depictions Media Radio. I'm your host, Michael Clogs. Okay, so Donald Trump did it. He had his parade. Well, no one showed up. Too bad, Mr. Trump. What did actually happen across the United States is that there was protests in many of the major cities. The No King protests happened, and sending a clear message back to Mr. Trump that they are not happy with how things are going. The United States isn't really buying into his rhetoric, and people are pushing back. So let's focus on some other things around the world, and then we're going to get back to what's happening here in Canada. Okay, so we have Israel has attacked Iran. It was a preemptive attack, saying that there was an agenda, an Iranian agenda to eliminate the population of Israel. And we're going to hear a little more about that from different points of view, from press conferences done by the United Nations, as well as stakeouts where Iran talks about what Israel has done, and Israel talks about what Iran has done. In essence, you're going to hear some similarities, though, because well, Israel has destroyed hospitals, TV stations, and other civilian sites. Well, but don't feel bad for the Iranians too much because, well, they haven't knocked out a TV station yet, but they have knocked out quite a number of civilian sites. Israel is saying that Iran is intentionally targeting these things, while, of course, Israel is saying that they were mistakes. There's an interesting thing about the television station that there have been announcements to get people to evacuate out of Tehran. Israel is saying that they are going to do strikes targeting specifically Tehran, and they've asked civilians to leave. But well, here it is in a nutshell. If they knocked out the major media station to broadcast the evacuations, so that people know to actually these civilians need to leave the area of fighting in order to protect the civilians, but they knocked out the major media site. And as it sounds, that they're saying that the major media is completely it's not a neutral party, that is completely in league with the regime, and that's why they knocked it out. Israel is claiming mass suppression in Iran, saying that the regime needs to be stopped because of how they are mistreating the people of Iran. To that extent, there have been a number of Iranian people protesting, especially women, over some of the decency laws that have been put in place, but they're allowed to protest it. Politically, Iran is following a very strict, Islam and their political system go hand in hand. They are an Islamic state. For Israel to blanketly say that they are fighting with Iran over human rights issues is kind of an interesting statement, considering what Israel has done with Palestine. So it's a very, very, very mixed bag, and both sides definitely are not completely innocent, and both sides are not completely guilty. And unfortunately, while the two governments are fighting it out with military armaments, the people who are caught in the middle, again, are those who are just trying to make a day-to-day living. So let's bring it back to Canada, and we're going to talk about the bill is still sitting on the table, and that bill is, of course, supposed to fast track projects and make it so that the government can just push through a project and get things started, break ground, and make things move along. But what this bill also does, it overreaches any chance for indigenous rights. It overreaches the treaties and the agreements that have been put in place with the indigenous people to ensure stewardship and to ensure that the indigenous people are treated with dignity. So there are some problems with that, and while at some point Premier Doug Ford said it best, "Hey, Mark Carney is Santa Claus," that why when they are discussing the needs for each and every province and territory, why is it that the indigenous needs were left behind? That each of these premiers should have brought with them a list of indigenous needs so that they could be put forward. Even if something as simple as clean drinking water. And in the past, we've seen this, that I can just go to here in British Columbia, look at Site C, and look at all the damage that was done to ecosystems because the hydroelectric company wanted to build a dam. And the dam is being built, and the traditional hunting grounds, traditional territories of the indigenous people, those thoughts were left behind. That the ecosystems and everything that were thought of last, and the only thing that was in the foreground was creating electrical infrastructure. There has to be a balance between the two so that all parties are welcome to the table and all parties can get their agendas put forward and balance everything out so that we as Canadians have access to what is a wonderful country. So just some thoughts about that. We're going to hear from Elizabeth May as she discusses what is going on with Bill C7 and how it can be affecting the ecosystems and the forests across Canada as different infrastructure projects do appear. So why don't we start with what's happening in between Iran and Israel, and we will lead back to hearing from Elizabeth.